What if I told you that the secret to becoming a truly powerful woman isn't found in your career, appearance, or success, but in the way you live your faith every single day? Imagine embodying 7 traits that not only transform your life, but reflect God's love in everything you do. Stay with me, because we're about to uncover the 7 traits every godly woman should embrace to make a lasting impact in the world. Being a godly woman isn't about perfection or trying to fit a specific image. It's about reflecting God's love in everything you do. It's about embodying qualities that not only bring you closer to Him, but also positively influence those around you. The world often tells us that to be successful, we need to have it all together. Perfect careers, perfect families, perfect looks. But the truth is, a godly woman isn't defined by the outward appearance or the accolades she receives. She is defined by the depth of her faith, her heart for others, and how she lives out her beliefs every day. In this video, we're going to talk about the 7 key traits that define a godly woman. These are the qualities that help you navigate life's challenges with grace, love, and strength. These traits are not just for women in biblical times. They are meant for you. Right here, right now. Whether you're a mother, a daughter, a wife, or someone on a personal journey of faith, these 7 traits can guide you toward becoming the woman God designed you to be. So, let's dive into the first trait, and I promise you'll discover just how deeply these qualities can impact your life. The first trait of a godly woman is faithfulness. Faithfulness isn't just about being loyal to others, it's about being loyal to God above all else. A godly woman's faithfulness shines in how she consistently puts God first, whether in times of joy or hardship. Faithfulness means trusting in God's plan, even when life feels uncertain. It's about holding on to His promises, even when circumstances make it hard to see the way forward. In Proverbs 31:10-12, we see a clear picture of the faithful woman, one who supports and strengthens her household, always dependable and loving. She doesn't waver in her commitment. Think of the women in the Bible like Ruth, whose loyalty to her mother-in-law, Naomi, didn't just change her life, but also became a part of God's bigger plan to bring about the lineage of King David, and ultimately, Jesus. Her faithfulness, even in the face of hardship, is a beautiful example for all women. Faithfulness also shows up in the small, everyday decisions we make. It's being consistent in your prayer life, in how you love your family, and in how you serve others. It's the quiet acts of dedication that often go unnoticed, but are deeply honored by God. Being a godly woman means that even when the world shifts around you, your faith in God remains unshaken. Your trust in His plan, even when you don't understand it, is what shows the world that you are indeed a woman of faith. The second trait is kindness. It's more than just being polite or considerate. It's showing God's love through your actions and words. Kindness comes from a heart that understands the grace that has been extended to you. And now you extend that grace to others. It's easy to be kind to those who are kind to us, but a godly woman shows kindness even when it's difficult. In a world where selfishness and bitterness can easily take root, kindness becomes a radical act of love that reflects the heart of Christ. Proverbs 31:26 tells us, "She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue." A godly woman's kindness isn't just about being sweet, it's about offering wisdom wrapped in love. Think of the way Jesus interacted with the broken, the lost, and the outcasts. He showed them kindness, not out of obligation, but out of compassion. That's the kind of kindness a godly woman should aim to reflect. Being kind isn't always easy, especially when life gets messy. But kindness is a choice. It's choosing to show compassion even when you're tired, choosing to be patient with your loved ones when you're frustrated, and choosing to speak life into someone who needs encouragement. When you make kindness a core trait, you start to see the ripple effect it has, not just on others, but on your own heart. It transforms your relationships and brings you closer to reflecting the love of God. The third trait is strength. A godly woman isn't weak. She's strong in her faith, her character, and her ability to handle life's challenges. But this strength isn't about toughness or self-reliance. It's about leaning into God's strength, knowing that He is your source of power. Proverbs 31:25 says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future." This kind of strength is rooted in confidence, not in ourselves, but in God's promises and His unshakable support. Think of the women in the Bible who faced unimaginable challenges but stood firm in their faith. Esther, who risked her life to save her people, or Deborah, who led her nation in battle. Their strength didn't come from their circumstances. It came from a deep trust in God and His power working through them. Strength in a godly woman means standing firm in your faith, even when things get tough. It means embracing courage, not because you're fearless, but because you know the one who is. It's about being resilient in the face of trials, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for God to strengthen you. It's about not giving up, even when you feel like the world is against you. A godly woman's strength is a testament to her faith in God, and it's that strength that helps her rise above the challenges of life. The fourth trait is humility. Humility may seem counterintuitive in a world that often celebrates self-promotion. But in God's kingdom, humility is the foundation for greatness. A godly woman knows that her worth isn't found in her achievements or status, but in her identity as a daughter of the King. She's not striving for recognition, but for opportunities to serve and love others. Humility is a trait that Jesus Himself exemplified. Though He was the Son of God, He humbled Himself to serve others, washing His disciples' feet as an example for us to follow. In Philippians 2:3-4, we're told to do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself, it means thinking of yourself less and thinking more of others. A humble woman doesn't need the spotlight to shine. She knows her value comes from God, and she's content to serve, lead, and love without needing accolades. Humility is not weakness, it's strength under control. It's the ability to lift others up while quietly trusting in God's plan for your life. The fifth trait is wisdom. A godly woman seeks wisdom in everything she does. Wisdom is the ability to make decisions that honor God, using discernment, insight, and understanding. Proverbs 31:26 says, "She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue." Wisdom is what helps a woman navigate life's complexities, knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. The source of true wisdom is God Himself. James 1:5 encourages us to ask for wisdom, and God will give it generously. A godly woman seeks wisdom in prayer, in Scripture, and through wise counsel from others. Wisdom isn't about knowing everything, but about knowing where to turn for guidance when you need it most. It's also about being teachable, recognizing that you can learn and grow every day. The sixth trait is compassion. Compassion is the ability to feel the pain of others and act to help them. It's not just about sympathy, it's about empathy and taking action. Jesus was the perfect example of compassion. He wept with those who mourned, healed the sick, and reached out to those who were suffering. A godly woman, like Jesus, is quick to extend a hand to those in need, to listen with an open heart, and to show love, even when it's inconvenient. Compassion doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes, it's in the small acts of kindness that we show the most love. Whether it's comforting a friend in a hard season, feeding the hungry, or simply offering a listening ear, compassion reflects God's heart for His people. The seventh trait is devotion to prayer. A godly woman's life is rooted in prayer. Prayer is not just a routine, but a way of connecting with God, seeking His guidance, and aligning her heart with His will. It's through prayer that she finds strength, peace, and direction for her life. Think of the women in the Bible who were known for their prayer life, like Hannah, who prayed fervently for a child, or Anna, who worshipped and prayed in the temple day and night. Their prayers were not just words, they were expressions of deep faith and trust in God's timing. A godly woman understands the power of prayer to change hearts, circumstances, and lives. She devotes time to it daily, knowing that in those quiet moments with God, she is being shaped and equipped for the challenges ahead. These 7 traits, faithfulness, kindness, strength, humility, wisdom, compassion, and devotion to prayer, are the building blocks of a godly woman. Each of these traits helps you grow closer to God and become the woman He designed you to be. They are not just characteristics to check off a list, but qualities to nurture and develop throughout your life. Every day is an opportunity to become more like Christ, to reflect His love and grace, and to impact the world in ways that go beyond what you can see. So, as you reflect on these traits, ask yourself, which of these traits do you want to grow in? Take one small step today to begin embodying them. It's not about being perfect, but about taking one faithful step at a time, trusting that God will shape you into the woman He wants you to be. Now, while these traits sound ideal and beautiful, let's talk about the challenge that often comes with them. We live in a world that values outward success, achievement, and beauty. Women are often pressured to fit a certain mold, whether it's the expectations of society, family, or even our own unrealistic standards. It can be easy to get caught up in these pressures and forget what truly matters, the inner qualities that make a woman godly. The problem many women face is the constant push to prove their worth based on external factors. You might feel the weight of trying to be perfect, to measure up to what others expect from you. In this environment, it's difficult to prioritize traits like humility, kindness, or prayer when the world tells you that achievement, power, and physical appearance are what define success. The result: women may feel like they're falling short, or that they need to perform a certain way to be valued or accepted. But the truth is, godliness doesn't come from external approval. It comes from your relationship with God and how you reflect His character. Cultivating these traits takes time and intention. It's a daily process, one where you're not looking for validation from the world, but seeking to grow closer to God. This is the real challenge: to stop comparing yourself to others and instead focus on becoming the woman God has created you to be. And that requires letting go of perfection and embracing grace. It's not always easy to quiet the noise around us and tune into the voice of God. But when we take time to reflect on these 7 traits and ask God to help us grow in them, We are aligning ourselves with His will. It's about building an identity that's rooted in Christ, not in society's ever-changing standards. So, despite the challenges, it's essential to remind yourself that the world's definition of success is temporary. But these traits are eternal. They will shape your character and have a lasting impact on the lives of those around you. As we dig deeper into the process of becoming a godly woman, it's important to realize that these traits aren't things you achieve once and for all. They're more like seeds planted in your heart, growing over time with care, attention, and a lot of grace. You don't wake up one day with all 7 traits fully developed. It's a lifelong journey. And honestly, that's where the beauty of this process lies. You get to see yourself slowly transform, not into someone perfect, but into someone who reflects God's love in everything she does. It's easy to feel discouraged when we don't see immediate results. Maybe you've worked on being more kind, but then you lose your patience in a tough situation. Or you've tried to practice humility, but it feels like the world keeps pushing you to put yourself first. The truth is, becoming a godly woman doesn't happen overnight, and it's not about being flawless. It's about progress, not perfection. Each time you stumble, you have the chance to get back up, learn, and keep moving forward. There's a verse that sums this up perfectly. Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." This promise assures us that God isn't finished with us. No matter where you are on your journey, He is still working in you, shaping you, and developing those godly traits. And here's the best part. He's not expecting you to do it alone. God's grace is there to guide you through this process. It's His power that helps you overcome obstacles, grow in wisdom, and keep pressing forward. You don't have to rely on your own strength to do it all. In fact, it's through your weaknesses that His strength is made perfect. When you lean into God, He gives you the grace and patience you need to grow. So, while the process of becoming a godly woman can feel challenging at times, remember that God is with you every step of the way. And with each passing day, as you seek Him, you'll see these traits begin to take root in your life, not as things you strive for, but as natural expressions of His love working through you. When you focus on growing closer to Him, these traits will grow in you, and you'll become the woman God created you to be. The key to this whole journey is consistency and trust. Trusting that God knows exactly what He's doing in your life, and that every trial, every moment of growth is part of His greater plan for you. When you trust in His timing and His work, the process becomes less about trying to get it right and more about becoming who you're meant to be in Him. It's a beautiful, messy, and transformative journey, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. At the heart of it all, the key moment comes when you realize that being a godly woman isn't about fitting into someone else's mold or achieving a standard that's impossible to meet. It's about living authentically in your relationship with God and allowing His love and grace to shape every part of who you are. God's calling for your life isn't about perfection. It's about a willing heart, one that seeks Him daily, trusts in His ways, and reflects His character in everything you do. When you embody these 7 traits, faithfulness, kindness, strength, humility, wisdom, compassion, and devotion to prayer, you begin to reflect Christ's love in a way that impacts the world around you. It's not about making a grand statement or seeking recognition, but about being consistent in the small, everyday moments. It's in the quiet acts of service, the ways you lift others up, the prayers you whisper in your heart, and the love you pour into your family and friends. These are the things that truly reflect the heart of a godly woman. The powerful part of this transformation is realizing that it's not just for you. As you live out these traits, you become a light to others. You inspire and encourage the women around you, and you model Christ-like behavior in a world that so desperately needs it. A godly woman doesn't just keep her faith to herself. She spreads it by the way she lives, loves, and serves. You can change lives, influence your community, and even impact generations to come by living out these traits. And here's where it all ties back. Your life of godliness is a testimony to the goodness of God. As you strive to reflect His love, you're not only growing closer to Him, but you're also showing the world the beauty of a life lived in His image. You may not see it immediately, but the impact you're having on the people around you is far-reaching. Every act of kindness, every moment of strength, every prayer that you pray, all of these things are part of a bigger picture. You're becoming the woman God designed you to be, and in doing so, you're showing the world a glimpse of His love. As you continue on this journey of growth, take comfort in the fact that God is with you every step of the way. He is molding you, shaping you, and working in you to become the woman He's always known you could be. The more you trust Him and lean into His strength, the more these traits will naturally flow from your life, and the more you will reflect His glory. So take heart and keep moving forward, knowing that each day is a step closer to becoming the godly woman you were always meant to be. In conclusion, becoming a godly woman is a lifelong journey, one that requires patience, trust, and a deep reliance on God's grace. It's not about being perfect, but about consistently pursuing these 7 traits that reflect God's love and character: faithfulness, kindness, strength, humility, wisdom, compassion, and devotion to prayer aren't just things you work towards for your own growth. They are gifts that allow you to impact the world around you in powerful, beautiful ways. These traits don't just transform your life, they transform the lives of those you interact with. Whether it's through a quiet act of kindness, standing firm in faith during a challenge, or offering wisdom and prayer to someone in need, you are a living example of God's love. It's easy to get caught up in the pressures of the world, to think that success is defined by the standards society sets. But a godly woman's success isn't about external achievements. It's about the internal growth that aligns her heart with God's. The more you focus on becoming the woman He's called you to be, the more everything else falls into place. Your life becomes a testimony of His grace, and your actions speak louder than words. So, as you reflect on these 7 traits, take a moment to ask yourself, what area of your life can you start focusing on right now? Is there a trait you can nurture today, or a step you can take to grow deeper in your relationship with God? Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about growth, love, and staying true to the woman God is calling you to be. As you walk this journey, know that you are never alone. God is right there with you, guiding you, loving you, and shaping you into the woman you were always meant to be. Embrace the process, trust in His plan, and allow His strength to empower you to live out these traits in your everyday life. You are a reflection of His love, and the world needs that light now more than ever. Keep growing, keep shining, and keep trusting God to help you become the godly woman He created you to be. If you felt encouraged by what we've discussed, take a moment to reflect on which of these traits you'd like to focus on today. Is it faithfulness, kindness, or perhaps devotion to prayer. Remember, each small step you take towards embodying these traits is a step closer to becoming the godly woman God has called you to be. If you found value in this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more content designed to help you grow in your faith. Also, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these traits have impacted your own life. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive deeper into more ways to live out God's purpose in your everyday life. Keep growing, keep shining, and remember, God is with you every step of the way.